Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing a vlog, which is why I'm not in my usual filming location, and it's a very exciting vlog because in this vlog I am going to finish my first draft. Currently it is like bank holiday Monday, I think it's like the 4th or something, I don't know because I've lost track of the days, but it's the beginning of May. I'm going on holiday on the 14th, so ideally I would have this book done by then so that I can like actually enjoy my time away and have a proper rest. This means that I have exactly a week to do it because then I also have to edit and post this vlog before I go away too, so we have 1 week. Ideally I would be done by next Monday. So we're doing this and you're probably going to watch me spiral into insanity because it's going to be a lot of work because I've still got about 10,000 or so words to go, maybe a little less. Current word count is about 94,000. First drafts for debuts really need to be under 100,000. I think this is going to be 105,000, maybe even up to 110, hopefully not, and that's fine because that really only leaves me like 5,000 words to cut, which isn't very much, and I've got all of the editing to do and there's going to be loads of changes, so it's fine. If I finished it today, the word count would be actually kind of perfect, but you're just not done until you're done, and the first draft is going to take as long as it's going to take. So I'm basically writing today the climax. I've got 1 or 2 scenes left of the current chapter, then I've got a big chapter which is the whole climax, and then a small final chapter which is just kind of like the snapshot at the end. And I'm not envisioning that that chapter is going to have a lot of scenes. I think it's going to be just 1 scene and that is going to be it. So I think it's achievable, and me doing this vlog is just accountability to myself to try and force myself to do it. And if I don't finish it on time for going away, I'm going to be really pissed off, but also things happen. I do feel a little bit unwell. I felt quite unwell this morning. Possibly I'm burning out already from how hard I'm already working, but we're so close to the finish line now. I'm very tempted to just work through whatever sickness comes my way and be damned for it. So I'm just having a little sit and a little break before I go to my writers group today. Probably not going to vlog too much while I'm there, while we're in public, but I'll come back on when I get back and let you know how I got on, if I finish this current chapter. If I don't, there's going to be hell to pay, but we shall see. Wish me luck and catch you in a bit. Hello again. So I am back from my writing group session. We had to change our venue today because it's bank holiday and our normal venue wasn't opening till 6 and we decided to meet earlier. But it was fine. We got a nice seat in the beer garden, lots of nice flowers, and it had like a nice tent, so we weren't in the sun, which is always good when you've got a laptop. And I'm happy to say that I did 1,500 words, just over that actually, and I finished the chapter I was working on, so I'm now officially on the final proper chapter. The actual climax and the very final chapter is going to be very brief, so I'm kind of counting that as part of this section, this chapter. Will that work when I actually get there? Like, maybe not. Maybe I'll have to switch up the way I'm thinking about it, but for now that's the plan. So I'm like starving now, I'm really shattered, so I'm gonna have a nice dinner, nice home cooked meal that I cooked yesterday, and I'm gonna read The Lamb by Lucy Rose. And I think I'm just gonna veg out and watch some TV, maybe a movie, and be done for the day. I did toy with the idea of writing some more tonight because it's still quite early, it's only 6:15. But I think if I do that, I'm just going to burn out. So that's it for the day, and I'll pick up with you tomorrow to get started on this final proper chapter. Hello everyone, I'm back again. It is now Tuesday evening. I've had a full day working from home and I've been pretty productive. I even worked a little bit late, so got finished a little bit late. Had a little break from this room, these 4 walls and my laptop screen. And now I'm back an hour later after some dinner and some television. And it's time to get cracking with this big massive climax chapter. There's so much that happened in this chapter. I think it's going to be a super long one. So I know a chapter doesn't sound like much, and usually people do a couple thousand words maybe. My chapters on average are like 5,000 words, and I think this one might even go up to like 7,000 words with an extra 1 or 2 for the next chapter, the final little short chapter. So I still think there's around 10,000 words left. I don't think there'll be more than that. Obviously the closest I can get to the 100,000 words mark for the final total, the better. but we shall see. So without further ado, let's see how much of this I can physically get out of my head and onto the page today. For the sake of the vlog, here's a shot of me performatively typing, just to prove that I did it. Because I feel like everyone has this kind of b-roll, but I really don't want to get my screen in it, so I've kind of scrolled all of the important stuff off the screen and now I'm just typing absolute gibberish. Need to get some space bars in there just to be realistic. That was my laptop just doing some weird black screen thing that it does every day. I don't know what it's doing, but it's none of my business. I'm going to delete this fake sentence now and then I'm going to actually turn off the camera and write. So I'll see you in like an hour or two. Wish me luck. Okay, so our Tuesday session is done. It's getting dark outside. My eyes are closing. I feel so tired. I've got my peppermint tea and it was a really good session. I did just under 2,000 words, which is loads for me. I think a good session for me is like 1,000 words. Yesterday I did 1,500. So we're moving and grooving this week. Who would have thought when the end's in sight that you're like suddenly 200% more productive? But yeah, I'm feeling good so far. The words are flowing. It is not like pulling teeth, surprisingly. A lot of the process has felt like pulling teeth, especially in the sticky middle. But for some reason, I seem to be coming up with good ideas in the moment. And I'm going into scenes knowing like very vaguely what happens and then coming up with something pretty good. Will I change my mind about that in the future when I'm editing? Probably. But for now, it is good enough for a first draft. And now I'm gonna go to bed. It's like 8:30. I could probably sleep right now if I wanted to. But that just feels like fast forwarding to like work in the morning. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna revenge delay my sleep. And tomorrow's a hair wash day. So I won't be in goblin mode tomorrow. I'll be a bit more put together. Catch you then. It's Wednesday now. My hair is clean at least, but I'm still wearing the same jumper because I am a slob. Been working from home again had a really productive day, and I've been stuck in this office room for more or less 10 hours now because I basically finished work and got straight on to writing, and I've done a literal hour-and-a-half session. So I've managed to do 1,200 words, just over that, and we're past the dialogue-y section and now we're into like full action. So the next couple of days are just going to be like an absolute roller coaster. This is going to be the hard bit because I think the dialogue is quite easy to write and get a lot of words out because you're just imagining kind of an improv conversation. The action aspects of the plot are really difficult for me because there's a lot of like details that are important. Like say you have to break into a building, it's like, what's the layout of the building? How are they breaking in? Where are the doors? Where are the guards? Where is the thing they're trying to get? There's just a lot of like logistics to figure out, and that is what I'm putting at. So I envision it's going to take a few days to get through this whole big action sequence because it's kind of several action sequences in one. And have I figured out any logistics in advance? No, I am just totally winging it. To use that example, my written plan is basically they go in, they break in, they get the thing, they get out. That's the extent of my planning. So wish me luck, that's going to be difficult. But I'm feeling good. We've had 3 days of very productive sessions. We've got 4 or 5 more to go to try and finish the whole thing. And 2 of those are weekend days. So I can totally do this, I think. On an unrelated note, this just came in the post. And I'm so excited to read it. It's quite chunky, so I'm not allowed to start it until the book is finished. I finished Diarybound in like 5 days, so I will not get my own book finished if I do crack into this. But look how pretty. And it's got this really cool cover art. You can't really see it, but it's got cool cover art inside the disc jacket, which I really like. So that is going to be my reward for finishing my book, is reading this bad boy. Don't know if I can be bothered to like cart a big hardback about on holiday, but I might just have to. Right, I'm gonna go cook dinner now, have a bit of a chill, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Hello, I'm back and it is Thursday, day 4 of the vlog. Filming in like the most awkward position, but we're just gonna roll with it. I've just done another session after quite a practical full-on day at work. I was out of the office for most of the day. Very much had my brain switched on all day. So I wasn't in the best headspace to write, I know I said last time that I was going to be like jumping right into the action, but it turns out I needed a little bit more context before just jumping right into the action. So I've done all of the little preamble and like time has passed kind of section, which was really annoying and not the best thing to write. And I'm probably gonna rewrite it all because it's low-key trash and I just came up with stuff on the fly. What I came up with it was actually pretty dark and pretty cool, but yeah, I probably will fix that later. But now I've started the action scene and we're out. The action is about to start. So tomorrow and Saturday will be my action days. Obviously I'm off work on Saturday, so I'm probably going to persevere and try to get all of that action done that day and get it started tomorrow. I also bought myself a little mini bottle of champagne at the shops earlier so that I've got something to celebrate with. I didn't want to get like a whole bottle just for myself, also it's like super expensive, and I wanted like champagne. I'm also like trying not to drink too much at the moment. I've not drank in a couple of weeks. I know that's not much to write home about, but it's progress. It's progress. I went to a beer garden in the sun and didn't have a beer, so good for me. But yeah, I'm gonna have that just to mark the occasion. And my final word count of the day, I did just over 1,000 words, about 1,130, and my document is on just over 99,000, so we're getting to that 100,000 mark. And even though I don't really want it to be over 100,000 words as the end result when I go to literary agents, it still feels nice to like cross that little marker. It feels nice to say to people, hey, I wrote a book and it's over 100,000 words. That sounds impressive, so I'm going to be able to do that now. Also, yesterday I was doing like some backing up because I thought, wouldn't it be tragic if I wrote 30,000 words in like 2 months and then lost it all and lost the whole copy? So I got out my little stick and I backed it up and I found loads of old versions of the book. I have the version that I first wrote and last touched in like 2018. I also have another version of the opening, which was just a couple of pages, and then a second draft. That one's like 16,000 words. The other one was up at like 25 or 30,000 words. And then there's another draft, which I already know about. That's titled like the 2022 draft. And a lot of that is recycled into the current draft. And it's also a redo of that very first draft. So like slightly different things happen, and it's basically like the first third of the book, the first act. But I was reading little sections of it just to see how different it was, how far I've come. And I definitely think I'm going to read all of those and just see what I did before reviewing this one, because it might be that actually what I did the first time was better and I might get better ideas from it. Or I might be like, it's trash, I can delete it. But I like to keep all of these things because you never know what you're going to need. And I think because of AI these days, it's good to have evidence of all your drafts with timestamps and dates when you opened the document and when you worked on it, evidence. It kind of proves that you didn't use generative AI and that you've been working on it for a period of time. You can kind of create different copies and email yourself copies at different progress points. It's also good just from like a copyright point of view. It proves that you own it and that it's yours. So yeah, I'm definitely keeping all of those and I'm going to review them over the summer when I'm thinking about just doing research and getting ready to go into my full edit. But anyway, that's me. That's all I can give today. Been wearing this makeup for like 11 hours. So I'm going to take that off, have a shower, get into some fresh pyjamas and have a nice home cooked meal and just take care of myself. But I'm feeling good. The home stretch is in sight and I'm feeling very excited about it. Friday is here and we have officially passed the 100,000 word mark. I have had such a busy day at work again. It's been such a busy week in general at work. I didn't even really get a lunch break, so I finished work at the usual time, went a walk, had a shower, had some nice dinner, watched The Handmaid's Tale, just had a nice chill rather than diving straight into my writing session like I have been doing. Then, after a break from these four walls, I came back to my office about 7:30 and I have done a 2-hour session and it's now 9:30, it's dark outside and I'm pretty much ready to go to bed, just get a tea and read my book and get an early night, to be honest. But this has been such a good session. I have done 2,400 words, which is quite a lot, and I've pretty much done most of the action section. We're basically just heading back to safety now. There's still going to be a couple of twists, like something dangerous potentially is going to happen on the way back to safety, just to keep people guessing. And then this chapter will be officially done and I'll be on to the final chapter, which is just going to be really short, really kind of different, kind of epilogue vibes, even though it is just following on from this piece of action and concluding the story. So it's not an epilogue, but I feel like lengthwise and this sort of change in style makes it feel like I'm writing an epilogue, even though I'm not. I've still not quite figured out how I'm going to do it. I'm going to see what feels right at the time. But I think that's going to be tomorrow's problem. I thought I might finish this on Sunday or even Monday at a push, but actually, now that I've done this mammoth section today, I actually think I'm going to finish this tomorrow. I think I can wrap this whole thing up in basically 4 scenes. 2 scenes left in this chapter and then 2 scenes for the final, ending on that final snapshot of the novel. So we really might have all of this done a bit sooner than I even thought, which is amazing and just shows that when I actually work hard and don't procrastinate, I can get shit done and I can meet a deadline, which is great for my confidence. Because meeting deadlines is something that I have maybe the most anxiety about, with turning this into more of an official career. If I was to get a deal, if I was to work to a timeline whilst also working full time and everything, I do think that is quite difficult, but I've proved myself that it can be done and that I can do it, which is great. I think just this week since Monday I've written just about 10,000 words. So really, if I had like 10 productive weeks like this week, I could write 100,000 words manuscript fairly easily. And now that I've had a week like this, it doesn't feel as daunting to try it. I just need to wait for my energy levels to be in the right place and not try to force it when it's not happening. Like 2 weeks ago, after my weekend in Cardiff, I was so drained I couldn't even read. So I don't think I could make that happen on a week like that without getting sick. But this week I've been exercising, I've been drinking lots of water, I've been eating healthy, I've been feeling good, and all of these things actually really do work for your mental health and your energy levels, turns out, and I have been able to be a machine. So there's a lesson there for us all, and I'm going to take better advantage of my good days and my good weeks in the future, I think, to potentially get the sequels to this novel written as well. But anyway, that's enough talking. I'm shattered. My word count of the day for the full manuscript is 101,000 words, 608. I think there's probably 2,000 to 3,000 words to go. Probably only 2, maybe about the equivalent of what I did today, which I managed to do in 2 hours. So maybe 3 or 4 hours of work tomorrow, 2,000 to 3,000 words. It'll be done, and it'll be done within that 105, which was what I guessed it would be, maybe even a little bit under that, which would be amazing. And I just realised that I've still got quite a lot of like notes on this document. There's some notes in red ink that basically just describe what scenes are coming up so that I don't need to click onto another document to know what I'm writing. I need to delete these, so that's going to bring my word count down by a couple hundred words at least, which is good, because the closest to 100,000 words we can actually get it would be good, and will make for less cutting later. But yeah, let's leave it there, and I will see you tomorrow for maybe the last day. I can't believe it. I actually can't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. But let's go and get a good sleep and then finish birthing this thing out, shall we? Oh my god. Right. Bye. It's Saturday and I've just sat down to finish writing this bitch. We're doing it right now, and I'm gonna write until it is done. I can't believe it's 6:30, like this day's gone so quick. I've achieved very little. I basically read 100 pages of a book, saw my horse, made a bunch of medication up for her because I'm making little ginger biscuit sandwiches and I'm about to go on holiday. So made up all of that, dropped it off, seen her, gave her a little bit of TLC. Came home and it was like 5 p.m. I was like, sound. So yeah, it feels kind of late in the day, but I've had my dinner and the schedule is cleared, so we're good to go. I've got my window open and there's a train station kind of close to here, and I keep hearing like a steam train, making that mad woo-hoo like noise. It's like, is the Hogwarts Express in town? What is going on? Bit of a whimsical vibe, not gonna lie. But the ending of this book that I'm writing is not very whimsical. It's actually kind of bleak. So if we could calm it down with the magical trains, that would be good. Okay, I'm gonna stop procrastinating and I'm gonna do this shit. See you in like 1 second. I think I'm done. It's done. Oh my god. Wow. I will definitely rewrite all of that, what I just wrote, because it's all a bit trash. But that's what happens. That's the end. The very bleak end. I even think the final line is quite good. So that might be staying. That might be the one. Well, just wrote a book. Yeah. What were you up to at the weekend? Yeah, just wrote a book. Yeah, nothing much. Just finished the book I've been working on for like 12 years. Yeah, no big deal. Yeah, just done it. Just pure wrote a book. Sound. Well, the final word count is 104,063. So my guesstimate of 105,000 was pretty accurate, but really not far off that at all. And in theory, I only need to cut 4,063 words to get to the 100,000 word mark. Maybe 4,064 just to get it to like 99999. That would be cool. And the final page count of Microsoft Word, font size 12, 1.5 line spacing is 245 pages. In terms of published books, it's just over the length of the Hunger Games. Each of those books are about 99,000 each, I think, from when I googled it. That could be wrong, but I think that's right. So about that kind of length. And now when I wake up tomorrow, I don't need to write. I can go on holiday. I can not think about this. I cannot be like, oh my god, I need to finish that book before I die. I did it. I did what lots of people don't do. I finished a book. Finished writing a book that I had an idea of and started and worked on. Not a lot of people can say that. So I think it's time to celebrate. But before I do anything else, I'm going to put this on a stick and I'm going to email it to myself, because God forbid something happens and I lose everything. So I have officially finished. I did over 8,000 words this week in just 6 days. Quite a lot. Pretty much a tenth of the book. If I'd been working like that this whole time, it would not have taken me like 3 years to write. Or 12 years if you count the true start date. And now, after all that hard work, I can't open this. Oh my god, there we go. For those wondering, it's real champagne. It's Lanson, not the best champagne in the world, but the only one that actually comes in miniature, so beggars can't be choosers. Cheers to finishing what we fucking started. That is probably the most earned glass of champagne I've had in my whole life. And now I'm gonna go and relax and enjoy this 100% guilt-free. Thank you so much for watching this vlog and coming on this adventure with me. I did not have a mental breakdown like I expected, so this might have been boring, but thanks for sticking with me anyway. I've been thinking a bit about like book 2, and like, because I've been so productive, I'm like, oh, I could have this idea, I could have this idea for this character, and oh yeah, that's a good idea to develop in the next book. And I'm definitely not going to jump straight into writing that. I'm definitely going to have a break. But I do have very, vague plans for the book. Like, I pretty much only have plans for like the first half of the book. I don't know what the second half is and what really happens. So if I do some vlogs writing that one, I probably will have a mental breakdown, and then that might be more entertaining. So subscribe and you can watch that. And my next couple of videos, I'm also talking about writing. I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do in this break in my next video next week. And then the week after, I'm going to talk about editing, all of the editing stages that I'm going to go through with this book, and probably all future books as well, because the work is nowhere near done and I need to fix quite a lot of what I just done. So that is what I'll be doing after letting it live in a drawer for a while. So subscribe for all of that, and I'll see you in the next one. I can't stop smiling. I'm just in shock that I actually did it, to be honest. I'm not sure it's quite hitting me yet. It'll probably hit me over the next few days. Anyway, cheers to entering my author era, I guess. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.